Welcome to the Success Fitness Podcast. I am your host, Christian Evans. This podcast is about helping improve your relationship with diet and exercise to achieve success in your fitness journey. In today's podcast episode, we have a special guest, Miss Kiesha Dixon. Kiesha is a 43-year-old mom of two, originally from Canada, but currently lives in Mexico. About 4 years ago, Kiesha was at the lowest point in her life, battling the effects from a heart attack. This set her on the course to lose over 186 pounds. Kiesha uses her social media today to inspire other women to love the skin they're in, regardless of their body types. Success Fitness Podcast family, please welcome Miss Kiesha Dixon. How are you today?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
No problem. I scroll social media just like everybody does, and I follow hashtags weight loss, weight loss transformation, fitness, all that stuff. And I'm always in awe when anyone loses weight. As somebody who's lost over 180 pounds at one point in time, I always get asked the questions, what did you do? What did you do? What did you do to lose the weight? And it kind of gets redundant far as for me, even though it may be somebody's first time, seeing me, seeing the pictures and everything. And I feel the same way when I come across others' weight loss transformation. And I'm like, what did they do? How long did it take? And so when I came across yours, I'm like, I got to have her on the show so she can, share her story, So for those who, don't know. Like I said, Miss Kiesha Dixon is on Instagram. What's your IG handle?
Mrs.SkinWonderful.
Gotcha. We'll have all that information in the graphic text and everything like that. But first off, please just give us a little bit of history about yourself. How did you go from Canada to Mexico, and what put you on the weight loss transformation journey?
Okay, well, I'll start off with why I'm in Mexico. I moved in September, so I've been here about 7 months. And I left Canada because Canada is just insane right now with all, the craziness we've been going through for 2 years. And Mexico's really free. So I just picked up and I left, and I'm here and I'm loving it. And weight loss journey, May of 2018 was the lowest point of my life. I think I've always had a weight issue, as a teenager, puberty, sometimes puberty hits and you start, gaining weight. So I always had a weight issue, but 2018 was really the lowest point. I was 350 pounds and really in a dark space in every aspect of my life, very depressed feelings. I was just in a rut. And then one day I was out of breath. I was out of breath a lot. And I was like that for about 8 days, out of breath, chest pains. And I finally went to see my family doctor and I was like, what's going on? Am I asthmatic? And he's like, well, I don't think you'd be having a pulmonary embolism because you would be dead in front of me, So he's like, but let's send you in for some blood work. So I went for some blood work and he called me 4 hours later and said, you need to rush to the hospital. We have to run more tests. Your, number is too high. So long story short, ended up in the hospital and I had a severe pulmonary embolism. So many blood clots in both lungs, and my electrocardiogram showed that I also had a heart attack because of one of the blood clots going up, so quickly. And it was really big in my lungs. And the doctor looked at me and he said, well, Ms. Dixon, what are your plans to lose weight? And I said, well, because I thought I was really far gone. I said, well, I've been on a waiting list for weight loss surgery and I was waiting for that. But in Canada, you wait for years and years. I don't know how it is in the States. And he looked at me and he said, well, you have to put that plan away. You've just had a really bad pulmonary embolism, so you won't be able to have that surgery. You have to get it together now. And that very day, I had a mindset shift and I saw my 2 kids and I said, I have to get it together. So I've never looked back since. I basically started eating well. I cut sugars, all refined sugars, all transformed foods, you know, everything you buy on the shelf, everything frozen. I cut bad carbs. You know, I learned the difference between the good carbs, the bad carbs, the good fats, the bad fats. And I just ate what was good and eliminated what was bad. I didn't do much exercise at first because I was just so heavy and inflamed. I couldn't move. But for my first 5, 7 months, I just melted the weight right off just by eliminating the junk. And then slowly but surely, as I felt better, I was able to start walking a lot more and then doing a little bit of Zumba and then start a bit of weight training. So, but just eliminating the junk really worked really amazing for me because I was addicted to sugar.
Yeah, sugar is probably about the number one drug in the world, you know, but you know, contrary to popular belief, there's other drugs that are, you know, illegal and things like that. But there's so many damaging effects that, you know, sugar and processed sugar has had just on everybody. You know, I have a wicked sweet tooth, you know, just as well. And you see the after effects of that, and just kind of like that craving, you know, you keep going back for more. And it's not even so much just far sugar, far sweet, you know, there's just traces of sugar just about in anything, even, you know, as far as our bread, you know what I mean? It can taste, you know, plain Jane or whatever. And there's still, you know, traces of sugar in that. Now, with all that being said, I usually ask this question last, but I'll ask this early in the interview. What was the biggest lesson that you learned during your weight loss transformation?
Definitely to take care of yourself and not take your life for granted. Because I think that for so long, I was just so used to being, you know, the big girl, but I never had any issues with boyfriends and friends. I was always very popular. So to me, it was just like, yeah, I'm that sexy big girl. But I took my life for granted because I never really took the time to look at the other aspect. It had nothing to do with my looks. I didn't lose weight for my looks. I lost weight to live, to be able to live. So taking your life for granted and not really analyzing what are we really, you know, thinking of here. And a lot of people are just thinking about, oh, I have to lose weight for that summer body. It's not about that.
Right. It's not seasonal. You know, it is a lifestyle. It will be ups and downs, but it's cool to have a goal. Like, you know, and I'm trying to get my body summer ready, you know, and it's like, okay, summer will come and then summer will leave. And then what, you know? And that's a challenge. Just kind of like in any goals we have in life, like we get, you know, in our head, like, hey, we have this goal we want to get to, and then we get to it. And then what, you know, we get to it and we don't really process, like the after effects of getting to that goal and the maintenance phase of when you get that goal. How do you take care of it? You know, only thing that, you know, you want is just that goal. And there will be many obstacles on the way towards that goal. So what was what were some of the biggest obstacles that were in your way on your weight loss journey?
I'm really a food addict. I'm in recovery, right? We're never cured from addiction. You know, I was an emotional eater all my life because of my past. So honestly, all of my surroundings, you know, being with a partner who really didn't want to get it together, being around friends who just, you know, McDonald's and whatever. So I think every single day I am challenged, every freaking single day. And I just have to remember why the heck I started. That's what keeps me going, you know.
Exactly. Now, with that being said, you may have mentioned it before, but just clarified for those who didn't catch it, your why. Like, what was your why to lose weight? Was it, yeah, you mentioned like your health, and then you mentioned your kids. Did one outshine the other, or was it just like hey, everything's on the table, I'm laying everything out, like I gotta do this because of this?
It was my kids 1000%. I believe my kids saved my life. I'll be very honest with you. I don't know if it was for them that I would have gotten it together. I just, when I was in that hospital bed on, heparin IV blood thinners, all I could see was them. I have two little kids who didn't ask to be here. I'm their mother. I really need to get it together to be there for these kids, and not just only to live, but I was starting to put my food addiction on my oldest son. I could see him start the emotional eating, and that was killing me inside. I think that was the worst. So definitely them.
I got you. Now, with that being said, you mentioned you didn't want that same type of future for your son, and you seen him kind of going through the emotional eating, kind of taking after mom. Now, when you started, you're like, okay, this is day one. I'm eliminating the bad carbs. I'm gonna start researching, what are replacement meals or whatever. Did you have any other help, any outside help that helped you along the way? Did you have a personal trainer? Did you have a nutritionist? Or what type of help did you have, if you had any?
It was just me. I wanted to hold myself accountable. I really wanted to do this because I had trainers in the past. I would just pay and just not do anything with it. And I really wanted this to be about me. So I just did research. I bought books on low carb eating because I think we're all different, but my main issue was really the sugar and the bad carbs. I would not eat vegetables. I would not eat fruit. So I knew what my addiction was, my issue. So I just did research on that. And I got books and I started meal prepping. I had never done that in my life. And that really saved my life because you don't know. And yeah, so.
Can you hear me? I think we got broken up just a little bit.
Oh.
Okay, now I got you back. Got you back. Hey, sometimes it happens, and that's fine. You had mentioned you had bought some books and you started meal prepping, something that you hadn't done before. Can you go a little bit more into that? How was that first experience in meal prepping? Was it as daunting as I guess some people would make it, or was it kind of a simple thing? It's like okay, make some food, put it up, and then eat it when it's ready?
It made me happy and it made me feel responsible. That's what it really was, because I was always, I learned to cook very early from my mother, but I was always cooking the bad stuff or just ordering out, So for once, it made me feel responsible. And I actually enjoyed it because, I was cooking really good meals. My kids were getting involved. So it's not so bad. You take one day, you get off the social media and you do it,
Right. So what was your favorite, I guess, meal to prep thing to cook? What was like your go-to, like your staple?
I'm a chicken lover, so chicken in every which way. I'm not a big red meat eater, but and I discovered a love for vegetables. I don't think I ever gave them a chance before. I also love salads. And, we already know, we have to tell people you don't have to eat salad to lose weight, but salads are delicious, and just adding all the protein to the salads. And then, I discovered that you can have so many salad dressings without the sugar, or you could just make them at home. So,
I got
there's
you.
so much we can do.
Right. Exactly. There's so much we can do. And again, you have to do your research. Just like you said, you have to investigate, switch things up. You're like, okay, some people may not, be a salad person, but it's like, okay, you don't have to eat salad, find a vegetable and prepare it in the way that you will like. Now, if you're new to it, you may not know that you like your veggie steam. You may not know if you like your veggies baked, you know, but it's all trial and error. And to not give up after, it's like, oh, okay, that tasted kind of bland. It's like, okay, we'll find a salt-free you know, seasoning, or season it with something other than salt. You know, a food is not, or should not be, defined if it's good or not good based off if it's salty or not, you know, because we keep adding salt that, you know, retains water, you know, increases the chances of a high blood pressure. So what was your favorite vegetable that you like to prep?
I think all veggies. I really love green veggies, you know, spinach, broccoli, and it's really crazy because before I use spinach, but there's just so many ways. I like it hot, I like it cold. And I'm really open-minded. I try everything. Just throw on those veggies. Grilled.
Grilled. I got you. I got you. Now you mentioned while you had changed your diet and you started to see the weight drop off. Now, how was it when you lost your, I would say, your first 50? Mm-hmm. Did it encourage you to keep going, or was it tough? Like, how was it? Like, when did you know, like, all right, you know, I got a system down and it's working, and let me continue to go? Because some can lose 25 pounds and just stop. You know, what made you want to just keep going?
I just felt so much better. My first month, I used to have severe dermatitis, eczema around my mouth, around my eyes. I tried every pill in the book. I tried all the cortisone creams. No doctor ever told me it has to do with what you put in your mouth, of course, because they want to, you know, sell you the medication. So 1 month of cutting bad carbs and sugar, it was gone. Finito,
Wow.
never came back. Yes. So all of my inflammation was gone. I used to walk and my calves were so hard that they would hurt. After 1 month, I just felt so good, like all the benefits. I was like, I got to keep going. So I just kept feeling better and better. And then everybody would see me and say, wow, Kiesha, what are you doing? Like, and it felt good. And it just made me want to keep going. It was easier and easier as the time would go, you know?
Right. So when the weight came off, things became, or your body became less achy, just doing just your natural, just functional, just getting up and walking, you know, playing with the kids or whatever. It became more seamless, right? And you said you did a lot of walking, and in your bio you had mentioned about you're starting to weight train, starting to use weights. Now, can you give us a little quick run through on how you began to start lifting weights, and what is kind of a typical current routine you got going on?
Yes, I do it at home. I'm not a gym person. I've never really been into it. There's just too many people. And I don't know, I don't feel great yet in a gym, you know. And I started weight training because I have a lot of loose skin, a lot, especially on my thighs. And it was really hard to try and accept that. I can't have cosmetic surgery because of my history with blood clots. My doctors won't approve it. And I want to live. So it's not, you know, it's not worth the risk. So I started, you know, I realized that I have to, you know, train in order to build muscle, to at least, it's not going to take my skin away, but it's going to at least fill in some of the area with muscle, which will make it look better. And I will feel better. It's nice to have some muscle, you know? So I do routines at home, super simple. I bought myself a little kit of dumbbells, you know, a floor mat, and I literally just go on YouTube and I look for workouts. You know, I try to do 1 day upper body, 1 day lower body, because I know you have to give your muscles a rest. And but I think, you know, once I get into it a little bit more and I start being a little bit more in shape, I'm probably going to want to turn to a personal trainer, because I want somebody to really push me. I know nothing about weightlifting, and I want to I want to be successful. You know, I want it to really work. I want it to help for my skin. So when I'm ready, I definitely am going to go towards that.
I got you. I got you. What has been your least favorite exercise so far? And what has been your favorite exercise?
The lunge. Oh my goodness, it just kills my knees. It's better than it was at 350 pounds, but the lunges are hard, but I do them. And I like the romaine deadlifts. I love that because I really want to work on the glutes, you know, and I see that that's a really good exercise and it feels good when I do it. So, yeah.
Okay. So you have a love-hate relationship with leg day. So you got, you know, a little bit of, you know, hate with the lunges. I'm the same way with the lunges. I don't like leg day.
No.
But with the you know, Romanian deadlifts, my hamstrings, I think I pulled a hamstring a couple of years ago, and I think it's just now starting to heal to where I have a little bit more balance on both sides. So I went down this whole path of trying to find hamstring strengthening exercises. And yes, the Romanian deadlifts, or RDLs for short, they're a go-to. They are a go-to fires for that. But I started discovering, you know, other different exercises fires for that. But yeah, I wish you the best of luck with this whole, you know, weightlifting you
Thank
know,
you.
journey that you're going on, and I'll send you some stuff too to help you out.
Oh, that's nice.
Let everybody know where they can follow you at. Again, if you have a website or any other social media, YouTube or whatever, let everybody know where they can find you at and, you know, chat with you. And because there are plenty of people who, a lot of times, some people will tell me they don't want to start losing weight or working out because I don't want to have any loose skin. And it's like, you don't really know how your body's going to respond 100% of the time. Just do. And then even if you do, you know, sit up here and be full confidence like Miss Kiesha. So let everybody know where they can find you at, and you can help inspire them too.
Okay. You can find me on TikTok, Mrs.SkinWonderful. My website is mrsskinwonderful.com, and my Instagram, Mrs. Skin Wonderful.
All righty, you heard it here. And I hope you found inspiration in today's episode. This brings us to the end of another episode of the Success Fitness Podcast. And today's special guest is Miss Kiesha Dixon, and we will have all of her contact information in the description below. Until the next time, please be safe. Success is golden. Peace out.